Good morning, students. Yes, students, we are discussing chapter 6, life process. So, what is life process? Life processes are the basic processes in the living organisms which are necessary for maintaining their life. The basic life processes are nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. About nutrition, respiration, we have discussed. Yes, nutrition is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body for life processes is called nutrition, and the respiration is the process by which food is burnt in the cell of the body with the help of oxygen to release energy. And we have started transportation. Transportation is the process by which food, oxygen, water, waste products are carried from one part of the body to the other. And transportation in animals we have discussed. Okay, in human beings, all the substances are transported by blood, and for this they have the circulatory system. About this we have discussed. So students, today we are going to start next topic. This is the transportation in plants. Like human beings, plants do not have complex transportation system. As plants are stationary, that means plants do not move from one place to another, so the energy requirement of plant is very low as compared to the animals, and they are autotrophic, that means they can make their own food. Okay, so the transportation of gases take place by diffusion process, and oxygen and carbon dioxide are easily taken up by all the surface of the plant and no need to be transported. But plants are autotrophic. Okay, they can make their own food. For this they need water, minerals and carbon dioxide. So a transport system is required to transport water and minerals from roots to the leaf, and food prepared in leaf to various parts of the plant. Thus, there are two kinds of transportation in the plant: transport of water and minerals from soil to leaf, and transport of food from leaves to other parts. Okay, so the plant possesses two independent transport pathway having conducting tubes, xylem and phloem. Xylem transports water and minerals, and for this they do not require energy, so no need for energy as ATP, and this is made up of dead cells. Phloem transports food like sucrose, amino acid. For this they require energy, so phloem transports food like sucrose, amino acid using ATP, and these are made up of living cells. Okay, xylem and phloem are both conducting tissue and together are known as vascular tissue. They together constitute the vascular bundle. So the function of vascular bundle is to conduct water, minerals, salts and soluble food materials to different parts of the plant body. Yes, now we see how these water, minerals and food is transported to different parts of the plant. Water is transported from root to leaves. For this, roots absorb water from soil. So the roots are directly connected to stem and leaves. The outer layer of roots have root hair, which is surrounded by soil particles, water and minerals. Water moves inside the root by root hair and epidermal cell by the process of osmosis. What is osmosis? osmosis, movement of water from higher concentration to lower concentration is called osmosis, and water move inside the root through root hair or epidermal cell. These cells are connected with cortex, so water passes through cortex and reaches to xylem through endodermis. So the water move inside the root by two pathways. If the water moves through the spaces between the cell walls, this is called apoplastic pathway. And if the water moves through the cytoplasm and reaches to xylem, this is called symplastic pathway. So in this way, water move inside the root by two processes, apoplastic and symplastic. Clear? In this way, water move from soil to root. After that, it reaches to stem and leaves. So the upward movement of minerals and water from root to the top of plant through xylem is called ascent of cell. For this, there are two theories work together: root pressure and transpirational pull. First is root pressure. When the water moves from higher concentration to lower concentration by the osmosis process, this is called root pressure. Okay, and water move from root to different parts of the plant. But by root pressure, water moves in small plants, but this pressure is not enough to carry water in tall plants because there is small distance between root and the top part of the plant. Okay, and in tall plants there is large distance between root and the aerial parts of the plant, and the root pressure is not enough to carry water in tall plants. So in tall plants, water moves through transpirational pull. What is transpirational pull? When the water comes out in the form of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant, this is called transpiration. The loss of water from aerial parts of the plant in the form of water vapor is called transpiration. Aerial parts are leaves, stems and the flowers. So the water is lost from leaves, stem and flowers in the form of vapor. This is called transpiration, and transpiration is very essential for the plants because it helps in absorption and upward movement of water and dissolved minerals, and it also regulates the temperature. Okay, so transpirational pull occur at daytime and root pressure occur at night time. Clear? So in this way, water transport by two ways: transpirational pull or root pressure. Clear? So root pressure is enough to carry water in small plants, and transpirational pull is enough to carry water in tall plants. Okay? So in this way, water is transported from soil to different parts of the plant through xylem. So the xylem transport water and minerals from soil to different parts of the plant. It transport water and minerals from down to upward direction only. It is a complex tissue and it is made up of 4 types of cells: xylem fiber, xylem parenchyma, xylem tracheids and the xylem vessels. Tracheids and vessels form a continuous column and transport water from soil to aerial parts of the plant. These are the long tube-like structures and these are made up of dead cells. Okay, from the aerial parts, leaves have stomata. Through these stomata, loss of water take place by the process of transpiration. Water come out in the form of vapor through stomatas. This is called transpiration. And these stomatas are surrounded by guard cells, and the opening and closing of the stomata is the function of guard cell. The guard cells swell when water flows into them, which leads stomatal pore to open. Similarly, the pores closes if the guard cells shrinks. So at daytime, stomatas open and at the night time these are closed. Yes, plants can prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so this food is formed in leaves. From this food is transported from leaves to different parts of the plant by phloem. Phloem is another complex tissue which transport food from leaves to other parts of the plant. It transports food in multi-direction. It has 4 types of cells: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and the phloem fiber. Only fiber are dead cells and other are living cells. Sieve tubes transport food and other substances, okay, with the help of adjacent companion cell. It has sieve plates and these are without nucleus. So the food is transported from leaves to different parts of the plant by phloem. For this, sieve tubes and the companion cell help together and transport food and other substances from leaves to other parts of the plant. So the transport of food, movement of food from the leaf to different parts of the plant, this is called translocation. Okay, so in this way water and food is transported in plants. Water is transported by xylem and the food is transported by phloem. Clear? So this is the transportation in plants. In this way water, minerals and food is transported in plants. Clear? I hope you understand this topic, transportation in plants. So students, watch video carefully. Read this topic from your book. Any doubt, any query, you are free to ask me, students. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.